Do you have a hard time sitting down and just concentrating on your work? That could be because you're doing too much at the same spot. You see, our brain loves to associate different places, different spots in our life with certain things. Like we go to a grocery store and we know that we're gonna buy groceries. We go to the gym, we know that we're gonna go and gym. It's pretty given, right? But the same thing goes for the places in our home, in our close environment. And I used to have a huge problem with this, with associations. I have a desk here, you can't really see it, but it's just a few meters away from me. And I sit down there and work every single day. But at one point, I also had my meals on that very same desk. And I would also read on that desk and watch some YouTube and scroll on my phone. I did so many different things on that desk that I just simply didn't know what to do when I sat down there. Now, of course, I might have decided that, hey, I'm gonna study today. But still, my mind felt so messy, as if it was trying to figure out in real time what the purpose of this sitting was. And I have actually made a drawing on this. Like, I love making these. I make these too. I don't make these too often, though. And this is my desk. Hope you can see it well now. Here is me trying to sit down at my desk. It's a perfect representation of what it looks like, by the way. And my brain is just all messy here. It does not know what I'm supposed to do. Am I gonna read, eat, watch some YouTube, or even scroll on my phone? I would never have TikTok again, by the way. It just doesn't know what's up. Of course, I want to be working, but my brain is confused. It seems you cannot do too many different things in the same spot. Because the point is not that we need to optimize life in like the perfect way, but it would surely help. And we love to do that. We love to look at the small things we can do to turn the odds in our favor. And if there's something we can do that's going to improve our work ethic, our ability to concentrate on what we do, what we have at hand, then of course we're going to take that. We're not going to leave improvements on the table or on the desk in this case. And you might see my carpet here behind me. When I sit down on that carpet, I know that there's only one thing that's up, and that's meditation. So just by sitting down on that carpet, I so easily enter the mental state I need to be in for meditation. Because my brain has this association. Sit down on the carpet, meditation. When I go to bed, when I lay in my bed, I know that I'm gonna sleep. I don't lay and scroll on my phone or even read in my bed. Only one thing per spot, if you will. On my dining table, I eat, and on my desk, I work. Fairly simple. I have one thing per each spot. And for reading, I like to sit in the sofa. I'm a little bit more comfortable at times, okay? And it helps so much for the brain to be able to instantly know what I'm about to do. It doesn't need this trying to figure out what I'm sitting down there, and it's way easier for the brain to wander off, to think of something else, for me to just go and grab something in the fridge if I'm eating and working and scrolling and watching YouTube on my desk. If it's only one thing, it's a lot simpler for you to just remain in the right mode, which at the time is work mode. The businessman Alex Hormozi likes to say that if you want change in your life, you should change your environment. And that's why moving away from home for the first time is so impactful. You really have the chance to start a new life and to begin with doing these good habits and just shake off the bad ones. Whereas if you remain in the same place all the time and you try and change, you try and improve, that's a lot more difficult because you have this association in your own home with the things you've always been doing. And if you've been growing up in the same place and you live there now in your late teens or early 20s, you will have all of this association in your brain essentially with all the stuff you've been doing, all the toys you played with, the friends you've had over, all of that stuff. But when you get to a new environment, suddenly you have the chance to leave your mark on that environment and to tell your brain that in this new environment, a new me is gonna emerge. And so I see this with associations in your home as like a light version of that. That okay, if you cannot move away from home currently, or you're stuck in your apartment because it's tough. It's tough with the economy. You cannot just buy a new apartment whenever you'd like. Then you can change your environment in a small way by changing the spot that you do certain things. And that's also why if you're struggling with studying, for example, it could help to go to a library and sit down and study there and make that the spot that you associate with studying. So to summarize, our brain loves to associate different spots with different things. And it tends to only work with one thing per each spot. And so if you have a ton of different things that you're doing at your desk, it's gonna be very confusing. And you're leaving productivity on the table, you're leaving efficiency on the table by choosing to do so many different things in the same spot. So I highly encourage you to try this out. Try only sticking to one spot for your work, one spot for your sleeping, and so on and so forth. And you're gonna see that you're gonna be a lot more clear in your mind on what you need to do. And when you sit down and do something, it's gonna be way harder to just wander off in your mind and get distracted. As always, let me know what you think, both of my drawings and of the points I made. And let me know if you want more of these. Might help with some illustrations sometimes. I'm not the Picasso of my time, but I think I can do a decent job with this. I'll see you again soon.